Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's been another year already, and so we're looking at 22 filing for 2021 on TurboTax. Watch the video, don't forget to subscribe and like and give it a big thumbs up, and I'll catch you soon. To get started, you just need to go to TurboTax.com and it's going to get you logged in. If you already have one, you just use the same login from last year. If you don't, go ahead and create a new account. All you need is an email. So once you're in, you're going to get to this main screen, and for completely new users, they're going to show you this screen. It's going to say, all of these different things. I want to maximize deductions and credits. I want a tax expert. I have a job, all this stuff. You're going to go down these boxes and just click on the ones that apply to you. For this purpose, I'm just going to do super easy, like the very basic ones. And so if you have something that's a little bit more advanced, your experience with TurboTax is going to look a little bit different than the one I'm showing you today. But it's the thing with TurboTax is that they're so good about being user-friendly. And so even if yours is a little bit different, it should walk you through all the steps that you need in order to file correctly. So again, super basic. I want to maximize deductions and credits. I had a job. I'm not going to do any home or dependents or anything like that. I did not donate anything. I'm not paying off any of this stuff. And yeah, no rental, anything. Just I have a job and I want to maximize deductions and credits. And so if you go down here, it's going to show you, you can get the free edition, deluxe, premier, or if you're self-employed. And the thing with TurboTax is it is free to start. And if you're super simple and your taxes are super simple and all you did was go to work and come back home, maybe you had an apartment that you rented, you didn't own anything, the free edition probably will work for you. Most people in this day and age, I don't think that's going to work. Most people, I want to say, would fall into that deluxe category with TurboTax just because they own something, they pay for something else, they have student loans, they're paying debt down, they have all these small things. And the more things that you have, it's great for you as a person, but when it comes to TurboTax, that just means you have to pay a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and it already highlights that one for us. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this one, start for free. Well, welcome. We are so glad you're here. Well, thank you, TurboTax. Okay, we're going to just go. I'm just going to make all this up, so don't mind me. Let's see. 01, 02. Let's do 1990. We're just going to pick one in the metro of Minnesota. Oh, happy birthday. I want to say that's what I did last year too. Okay. How did you do your taxes last year? TurboTax. For me, with this account anyways, we did TurboTax. If you use other tax software, any of this other stuff, I'm just going to say other, because if you do TurboTax, it's going to try to pull it up from last year. And I didn't actually file through TurboTax on this account, and they're going to be confused. So I'm just going to hit other. If you did do it through TurboTax, you can go ahead and hit that. They'll pull up all your records from last year, and it's really just going to make your process more simple. Otherwise, you can do these other things. Sometimes TurboTax can link to another service, or they'll ask you to scan in a copy, upload a copy. You can do that. I'm just going to hit other, and I'm feeling good about filing taxes. Let's talk a little bit about my life. Let's see. Marital status on December 31st. Again, we're doing super simple. Let's just keep it at single. So it's just me and my life right now. Did any of these apply in 2021? No dependents. I was not a college student. I didn't own a home. I did pay rent. Let's say that I did receive a stimulus. I did not retire or receive any retirement money. Okay. I had a job. Let's say I paid my tabs. I had bank account interest, and I contributed to my IRA account. Nothing else. With student loan interest, a lot of us are going to have this, and that's fine. But what's great is that because of 2021, a lot of that was just put on hold. And so I don't think, even though in the past years we've had a lot of people with this year we probably won't, just because everyone's loans are put on hold. If you want to, you can do show more, donations to charity, all of these other things. I'll say yes because I went to Goodwill a few times and threw some things there. Let's say I had some medical expenses, and then that's it. If you want to keep going, you can. It's just that the more you go down, the less likely, they're less common situations. Let's say that I did have a health savings account, and that's it. We'll hit continue. I'm off to a great start. So it's just going to summarize everything I went through just now, and then it's going to say, great, keep going. So money doesn't solve everything, but it helps. This is what I was talking about that's new this year. This is going to go through the stimulus and what happened with that. So if you want to know, it'll tell you exactly, what happened during this time, and then you can just hit continue. Okay, so sign now and save time later. This is just TurboTax's way of saving early so that you can come back to it. They do actually save all of your progress, but this also just helps it, their system can stay up to date, and it's something they like to throw out there. So if you hit continue, you just put in your stuff you can sign for today's date and have it, ready to go for when you actually finish, or you can just skip it. This time I'm just going to skip it. I'm going to say no thanks. And then you're going to put in your information here. So this is going to say that you're okay with them using all this information to actually file your taxes. Okay, after a little bit of buffer, you can see everything has been pulled up on the side here. Let's start with personal info. So my name is Becca Testing. Date of birth is already put in there. We are just, I'm going to put all this in there just so that I can keep going, but then I'll skip past it so that, you guys don't have all the goods. Okay, occupation or job title. Let's say I am a TurboTax reviewer. I am not a member of the armed forces. I live in Minnesota. I did not live anywhere else. Can anyone claim me as their dependent? No, meaning I make the money for myself. I don't rely on anyone else to pay for the things that I need. I'm not legally blind. I'm not preparing this for someone who has already passed away, since I'm preparing it for myself. And I don't need to change any language the IRS sends communication to me in. You continue. Remember earlier I said that I was single, so I'm going to stick with that. Single. Did I support any other person or children? So this could literally be your own kids. If you're fostering kids, if you are taking care of, grandparents, your parents, anyone else like that, where you are paying out a lot of money for their care, the majority of that care. Current mailing address. I'm just going to make something up and then I will continue on. Okay, double checking that address. I just did 12345 Main Street, apartment 123 in St. Paul in Minnesota. Did you make any money in any other states? No, I did not. That would be a hustle. Here is the best filing status for you. So after you put in all your info, they're going to say, hey, this is what we think you should do. They checked for all these other statuses that you could file under. And if you're confused about what that is, go back and look at one of my videos. I'll link it in here. But you can take a look at that video to see how you should file. Because even though you're single and by yourself, you're not taking care of anyone, maybe there's a different type of filing status that will give you a better and more accurate refund. In this case, TurboTax is saying, nope, single is good for you. So I'm going to go with that. And now they're going to, TurboTax is this thing where they throw out, hey, you really could get a better deal if you did this. Pay a little bit more for this. Some of you might want to. You can read down the list and see what they're offering. Otherwise, you don't have to add it. They don't require you to add it. Okay, we are going to go into income now, and that's going to be the big thing that starts giving us numbers. We're going to see numbers pop up here for what our current and ongoing refund may or may not be. And I say may or may not be because you could owe money or you could be getting a refund. So the most common type of way to report income is a W-2. And it's going to be a form that you get from your employer. And it's going to show everything from the money that you made to the money you put into an HSA, the money you put into a 401k, if you have any of that, what was deducted for Social Security, and all that good stuff. So we're gonna say, let's work on it right now. This is what a W-2 looks like. And all of them, they can look a little bit different and vary, but they're all going to have the basic information. So they're going to have that your social security number up here. They're going to have the EIN for the company here, their address, and then all of these. So make sure that these numbers line up with whatever box you're putting in. You can see like in box 13, there's that X for retirement plan, and then there's all of this stuff. So all of this is going to align with everything you put into TurboTax. If you're doing it manually, just make sure you're checking the boxes. Otherwise, it should pull for you if your company has it registered online, and TurboTax should be able to pull it for you. But if not, this is just a great way to double check, even if it pulls it for you to say, this is box 1. What does box 1 on here say versus box 1 on TurboTax? Okay, so you have to put in this number. It's going to be a box on there. It's going to be box B, and it's going to be the EIN, which is the employer identification number. This should be on your W-2. Sometimes you're able to look it up too, but if you're getting a W-2, you shouldn't have to. It should be right on there. So, okay, I'm just going to put numbers in there. We're going to type. You can upload it from your computer if you have a picture or a PDF. That's great. Sometimes these days it's so easy. You can just download your W-2 from your workplace's payroll website or whatever software they use. For this purpose, I'm just going to type it in myself. Because this is all fake for this purpose, I'm going to make it up, and then I'm going to hit continue, and then I will see you guys on the next screen. You are doing great. Okay, now the same, but a different section. We're going to talk about your actual income and the taxes withheld. Again, all of this is for this purpose. It's all made up. Don't worry about the numbers. All of your numbers should match what's on your W-2. So box 1, let's say I made $40,000. Wages, tips, other compensation. This number usually will be all the same all the way down. And this just means that this is what you made. This is how much of what you made is taxable for Social Security wages. And this one is how much, they count to be taxed for Medicare wages and tips. This is actually, on this side, is actually what was withheld. So what they took out of your paycheck to give back to the state, Social Security, Medicare, and the feds. So whatever is on your W-2, just transfer it, make sure it's lined up. Some of them, like TurboTax showed earlier, can be imported, and that way everything will already be here, and you can just make sure it's all correct. But I'm going to stick some numbers in here. Less common items, there's these tips, dependent care benefits, allocated tips, all of these things. So box 12 are just going to be all these other accounts that your employer might offer you. Let's say like medical savings account, non-taxable sick pay, elective referrals to 401k. If you have any one of these, it's going to show up on your W-2. Just make sure you click the right one, and then I put the amount there. Let's say I did have a retirement plan, so I'm going to just stick retirement plan there. And it might even show you up here, if you have one, it's likely that you're going to have one up here too. So if you do have that retirement plan, then you're going to want to make sure that it matches up there. But otherwise, I'm just going to stick that one there for now because that's common. And then anything for 14, again, that's not as common. If you have anything there, just stick it in there. State taxes. So I am in the state of Minnesota. Make sure you just click whatever yours is for that. This is supposed to be 7 digits. So we're going to do that. State wages and tips. This is usually going to be the same as the one that was up here. So that 40,000. Income tax is what they took out to give back to the state. So let's just say they took $3,000 over the year. Local taxes, this is not as common, but if you do have it, boxes 18 through 20, stick it in there and you'll be good to go. I'm just going to hit continue. So you see this number up here, federal refund in progress. This is going to update and show you what you are getting so far, and it's going to go up and down as you put more information in. Uncommon tax situations. It's just a list of things. If you had any of these, go ahead and check them, and then TurboTax will take you through what is needed for any of those. If you don't, most people won't, just hit none of these apply to me and then keep moving. So far, it's showing that I made $40,000. I had $5,000 withheld from this W-2. If you had another job, or even, especially in this day and age, if you worked for things like DoorDash, you're going to get small W-2s from them. Sometimes you might get things from PayPal or anything like that. Add another W-2, and just make sure you have everything, all your income here. For this purpose, I only worked at this one place. Super simple. We're just going to do the one. We're going to hit continue. That's all the income I received. Any other income, again, it's just checking. Stocks or shares? No, I did not. Did you withdraw money from your retirement plan? No, I didn't. And if you did, you just hit yes, I did. And then after you hit continue on this screen, TurboTax is going to go through that profile of what happened, what was taken out, and all of that good stuff. But I'm going to hit no, I didn't. Did not have a foreign bank account. Continue. Wrapping up wages and income, it's going to say, hey, this is what you said was true. Make sure that you double check these things or you're good to go. So I said earlier I had interest from a bank. I'm going to go and hit this. Did you receive any interest? Yes, I did. So what's cool is TurboTax can import information. So they're going to let you log into something. Let's do, I believe last year I did Chase. So let's change how I enter my form. Nope. You can either bring it from your bank, like I was saying, you can upload it directly from their website. TurboTax pairs with them, and you can just link it, or you can upload it from your computer, or you can type it in myself. For this purpose, I'm going to type it in myself just because I don't actually have a 1099 from them. Received from Chase Bank. Let's say I received $250. If you have other boxes, you can do these things. Otherwise, most of the time you won't. It's a super simple form from the bank. I need to adjust interest in my state. None of these apply, for me anyways. If you have any other bank accounts where you got interest, stick them in there. If not, just hit done. So I'm going to go to that next one, HSA, MSA, 1099. So this is an interest statement, or just a statement in general about your health savings account or medical savings account. Because I said I had a health savings account, it's asking me about that. So I'm going to say yes, I had that HSA. Did I use it to pay for anything in 2021? Yes, I did. I went to the dentist and, got a few fillings done. And so I used my HSA to pay for that. Okay, so I just stuck a company in there. Let's say this is the name of your health savings account company. You just want to make sure everything matches that 1099 that they gave you. Once it does, just hit continue. And so it's going to say, let's make sure that your personal info that you put where you live right now matches what the 1099 states. In other words, make sure that your health savings account company, your medical savings account company got your information correct. So double check it. And then we're going to get the numbers from that. So gross distribution, this is going to be how much you spent out of your HSA. And so let's say that all of my fillings cost $987. Normal distribution. And there is no date of death. HSA, make sure you've got the right ones. Again, everything will be on that 1099 SA from that company. I'm going to hit continue. See how this is going up and down. Note that everything you put in is going to make it go up or down. And so don't worry about it until you get closer to the end. This is green. That means you're getting a refund. When it's red, that means you're going to be paying money to the feds. How did you spend it? Did you spend it on medical expenses only? Yes, I only spent it on medical expenses. If you didn't, then you're going to get dinged for that. But in this case, it was only medical expenses. It was for my fillings. Okay, see, it went back up because, all of that spending counts because it was only for medical purposes. So we're going to give you that money back. I'm going to hit done. Did you inherit this HSA? No, it was mine. Did I put money into it? And this includes everything your employer contributed to. Yes, I did. On the W-2, it should show if your employer contributed anything. If they did, that amount is going to transfer over here. See, it says box 12 of your W-2. It'll transfer over here. Any contributions you personally made, not through your employer. So this is going to be an amount that you made yourself straight into your HSA, not from your paycheck. In other words, if your company, if you elected, let's say, hey boss, I want to take out $50 a week, $100 a paycheck for my HSA. And so every payroll period, every 2 weeks, they take out that $100 and they stick it in your account for you. That is not what this is talking about here. This is saying, did you personally go into your HSA account and say, hey, I'm going to put in $500 of my own money into this account? If you did that, you would stick that here. So let's say I did that $500 once during the year or total. If you did do that, that's something you're going to be either keeping track of on your own, or you can look into your HSA account and they should be able to pull those deposits for you. Did your employer tell you about any other contributions? No, they did not. And I'm going to go back. That really is going to be because they made a mistake or they decided to contribute a little bit more. And so it's, the previous year, or if they're adding more for some odd reason. Did you have Medicare? I did not. Were you covered by a high deductible plan in 2021? I'm going to say yes, I was. I was a self-only plan. I paid my workplace for a plan. Did you overfund your HSA? So the federal guidelines only allow you to put so much money into your HSA, health savings, and it's dependent on how many people are in your family. If it's just you, there's a certain amount you can put in, and if you overdo that, you get penalized for it. The reason is because that money is non-taxable. So when they take it out of your paycheck, they take it out before they apply taxes. If you put it in yourself, because that money has already been taxed, like before it was going into your bank account, what they do is this number goes down, meaning they deduct it from, it goes down if you owe money. If you're getting money, that number is going to go up because they're giving you the money back that you would have paid in taxes on the money that you put in yourself. It's a little bit confusing. Just know that you can only do a certain amount for your HSA because HSA money is pre-tax. So did you overfund? I did not. HSA summary, we're going to hit done. And great, we've got all that income info. We're going to wrap up income. You are doing awesome. I also really like TurboTax just because they're very encouraging. And even though, most of us don't want to do our taxes, they're just sitting there cheering us on. I love it. Again, this ad where it's saying, hey, TurboTax has all these great things. Do you want to add them? I'm just going to say no, we don't need it. Again, they're saying, hey, live tax expert is right there. I have actually chatted myself with them before, and we've upgraded for that option just because we had a few weird things going on in our family that I needed help with. We're just going to hit continue. Were you affected by a natural disaster in 2021? We were not. Acquire, sell, or exchange virtual currency, Bitcoin, all that good stuff. If you did all that, yes, and then it's going to go through it in the next screen. I'm just going to say no. We're going to check for tax breaks. So we know how much money we made. We know how much money we paid out to the in taxes. Now we're going to see if we get any breaks. Did you pay any car registration fees? Yes. I did not own a home. I donated to charity. And I spent money on medical expenses like we talked about. Checking for the biggest refund, buffering, ta-da! Standard deduction is yours. Okay, if you really want to go through itemized deductions, you can. That just means putting in every single small detail to see if you qualify for a better refund. Otherwise, they're saying, with what you just told us, just take a standard deduction. It's the easier way, and you qualify. I'm going to go with that. If it's easier, I'm going to go with that. I did not get any child tax payments because I am by myself. If you did, again, this is the one of the two things that changed for this tax filing year. The child tax credit payments, without going too much into it, they were prepayments of the refund. So you possibly could have gotten too much money, and then the feds will take that money back if they overpaid you. Keep that in mind. The only reasons they would have overpaid you is if your financial situation changed a lot since the beginning of 2021. So let's say at the beginning of 2021, you were the only one working, it's just me. I was the only one working, and that was it. But then during the year, let's say I got a $20,000 raise, or I got a new job, anything like that, things like that would change your tax situation and therefore possibly mean that you got overpaid and then have to pay money back. In this situation, I did not, because I don't have any kids. Did you make any estimated tax payments? Nope, not that much of an overachiever. And I did not make any payments on student loans because of COVID, thank God. Did you spend money on school expenses as a teacher? Nope, because I am not a teacher. No foreign taxes either. And I did not get the homebuyer credit because I do not own a home. Everything else carried over, but I'm going to do start. Traditional and Roth IRA. Traditional just means it's pre-tax. Again, like I talked about earlier, they take it out before any taxes are applied to your paycheck. Roth IRA, that is a specific account, works in the same way once the money's already there, but the difference is how the money is taken out of your paycheck. Roth means after taxes. And then when you retire and you get that money, then you also don't have to pay taxes on it. So it's just the way you set it up, the way you want it. I'm just going to say traditional because most of the people do that. And again, this is your contribution on your own. Just like I talked about HSA, it's on your own, not through your employer. So if you didn't put any money in there all on your own, you're going to hit none of the above. If you did do it on your own, not through your workplace, then you can hit whatever you did. I'm going to say none of the above because I didn't put any extra money in there. So great, tax breaks covered. We're going to wrap up those breaks. Did you donate cash to charity? And I did see, they didn't say anything about this, but I saw that this was different than last year. Last year you could itemize, let's say if you dropped off a huge bag of clothing at Goodwill and it's estimated to be, it was like, $600 worth of clothing, you could literally put in $600 in this spot. And now this year I saw that they're only doing cash. So cash to charity. I did not donate cash because I donated clothes. I'm going to say 0. Okay, uncommon tax situations. They're just going to go through these. Did you hire a live-in nanny or household employee? No, I didn't, but I would love to. Did you apply your refund to next year's return? No, I did not. Do you want to designate $3 to the presidential campaign fund? No, thank you. And did you receive an identity protection PIN from the IRS? If you have no idea what this is talking about, just hit no. It's not very many people that get that. Okay, that's all we need to wrap up. Let's keep things going. Did you get a third stimulus payment? And this is what I was talking about. One of the two things that really affects the taxes this year are the stimulus payments, the COVID stimulus payments, and then the child tax credit prepayments. And so if you did, you would have gotten this payment at the beginning of the year. I'm going to hit yes just to show you guys. And it's saying based on the income you put in, you should have gotten $1,400. Is that what you received? Either say yes or you say no, and you put in the right amount. And I'm just going to say yes because, yep, we got it all. It looks like you received the right amount. Just checking for Form 1095A. Since I put in that I got health insurance from the marketplace within my workplace, I should have gotten this form. It just states that, yes, I have insurance. This is how many people were under my insurance, how much I paid, the market rate, and how long I had it for. I was not approved to receive unemployment. So it's saying, because you got this form, did you also get unemployment? No, I did not. From your insurance plan, yes, I got this form. I'm just going to go through and you're going to put this in there, all of that in there. And it's just going to say how much you paid each month, the premium amount of the second lowest cost silver plan. And this is not information you're just going to know off the top of your head. You're going to get this from that 1090A form. I am going to hit back And I'm just going to say no because I don't have one now to reference. But if you did, you just fill that out. Okay, tax breaks covered. We're going to wrap it up. All done with them. We did not donate to charity. I'm going to say no again. And sometimes they repeat the same questions just because in the beginning it's like, well, you said yes to this and then you said no. We're going to double check. That's just TurboTax doing their thing. We're going to go and keep going. Double check the amount you received. Yes. Yes. And it's swiping through everything again. Awesome. Let's get your state taxes done right. So we just finished federal. That means we got everything done for the federal government. State taxes uses a lot of numbers that you already put into federal, but depending on your state might have other things too. And so we're going to see a federal refund up here and then a state refund or maybe a payout that you have to pay. So right now it says Minnesota forms will be available soon. Good for you for getting your taxes done early. You can choose to continue without state, or you can always file your state return later. So what I'm going to do is continue without state because Minnesota forms are not ready yet. The only thing I have right now is the federal refund, and so I'm just going to hit continue, and TurboTax is saying, hey, you're doing a great job, you're ahead of the game, but your state didn't put out their forms yet. So let's just take care of your federal refund, we'll submit that, and you can come back later to take care of those state forms when Minnesota updates and uploads those. I'm not adding max. Well done. Again, I love TurboTax and how encouraging they are. Continue to lock in today's price and the prices that lie, the TurboTax Deluxe I was telling you guys about. The federal return, all the info was saved. And then the option right now to pay for TurboTax with your refund is not available. Another really cool thing you can do with TurboTax is that instead of paying out of pocket for the costs for Deluxe, if you choose to upgrade, you can actually just pay it with your refund. Usually that doesn't happen until the beginning of, the end of January, when most people are starting to get all those forms and all those forms are due to everyone. That's when you start to allow TurboTax to be paid for with their refund. But right now that's not available. So that's just all it's saying. So 3 more steps and we're going to file your return. So you're going to have one more review. You're going to make sure that you set up your federal return payment method. And that's, you can set up a direct deposit, meaning once it processes, then it's going to send it straight to your bank. Or you can set up your payment method if you owe money. And then you can actually file your returns online electronically, or you can choose to mail them in if you want, print them off and mail them in, and then you can save them. And I always save my own copy to an online drive just so that I have it. I'm a little bit paranoid. TurboTax is great and they save it for you too. So if you have an account, you can go back and say, I'm going to download or look at my taxes for 2020, and you can just click it and it'll open up. But I really like to have it for myself, and so I save it and upload it to my own drive. But they give you all those options. At the end, you're going to get back to that sign screen where it says your first name, last name, and the date. You're going to sign it, you're going to file it, and then TurboTax is going to bring you to a page that shows you the current status of your filing. And it's going to say, submitted on this date, is it in review, all this other stuff. You'll get text notifications and all that good stuff, and you'll stay up to date. If you really want to, you can also use the federal tracking website to see what the status is of your actual payment or refund if you're getting one. But TurboTax does a great job of doing that as well. Either way, you're going to be up to date on all of that, and you're going to have it for you saved here on TurboTax and on your own if you'd like to. I've always used TurboTax since I was younger. It's just what my family used. It's what I grew up using. I probably will, just for YouTube and tutorial purposes, try out some other services, because there's a lot of them these days that can help you out. But I've always loved TurboTax because it's super user-friendly. They've got the live tax advice, and it's easy to track once you actually complete it. Plus, it saves all your info. But use anything you want. Most people are not looking at this until later. Like I said, the deadline for getting all those statements from all those companies that you have assets or accounts with is the end of January. And so usually that's when people start actually filing, when they have all the paperwork together. If you've got great companies and they've already sent all those things to you before then, great. If not, that's the deadline to know. I'll put a link down below for those deadlines and as they come up, who they're for. Start looking at TurboTax, get your account created if you haven't already, gather those proofs, look at all your accounts, make a list of what you should be expecting, and you will be just fine. No huge changes like there were in 2020 with tax laws, just those changes with the stimulus payments and the child tax credit. So send me questions. You guys sent me so many questions on last year's video, and I can't believe what great feedback I got for that. So I appreciate you guys. I hope that this is helpful. And like I said, I might have some time to do some other services too. So if you're not a fan of TurboTax, maybe we'll try something else. But either way, good luck to you. You are going to do great, and we will kill it. Okay, talk to you guys soon. Bye.